Today I've decided to go with a bit of a seasonal dish. Well, it's not really seasonal. It's something people eat it all year round, but it's named after the season. Right now is we're in the Chinese New Year period, um, and so I thought that I would have some spring rolls. But in the West, when we think the word spring roll, we think of Vietnamese spring rolls or Thai spring rolls. But Chinese spring rolls are a completely different thing. They're called chunbing. Chun means spring, so like Chinese New Year is also called Spring Festival, Chunjia. So it's Chunjia right now, and I think when this video airs, it'll be a little after, but when I'm filming it, it's Chunjia. And then Bing means pancake. So the wrap. So these are they use the same word for the Vietnamese style spring rolls. Those are also chun bing, but those are Vietnamese style chun bing. In China, this is not something you get and it's already made. You order it and it comes. You get this. You might make it at home. You might get it at a restaurant, and you have pancakes. I think I got too many pancakes. This place didn't sell just individual ones, and I wanted to get. There's two different kinds, and I wanted to show both kinds, but I think I only needed to get one order, so I may have too many pancakes, but that'll be okay. I'll show those later. One is called a chunbing, the actual like spring pancake, and one is called jinbing, which means like gluten. So like it's more of a stretchy, thinner. One is more like a tortilla, kind of like a drier tortilla kind of thing, and one is a very gluteny, stretchy kind of pancake. And then we've got a whole bunch of stuff here. So basically, you get all these different dishes, and then you make your own things. This is what's called Beijing rosa. Pretty much all of the spring pancake, the chunbing fillings that you use are some kind of strips of meat cooked somehow. You might do it just with strips of veggies, but the general thing is to have some kind of strips of meat and veggies. Or the other option that people often get is some kind of sliced meat. This is some sliced beef. That's also quite common. So those are usually, if you're going to have meat, you either have some kind of a meat strips dish. This particular one is called Beijing rosa, and it's probably one of the most common meat dishes to have with this. You might also. I had a while back. I had a video where I got some stir fried noodles with a dish called Yuxiang rosa. Which is like a fish sauce noodle, or fish sauce pork strips. That's also quite a common meat to have in these things. And there's quite a few other kind of meat strips stir fried with some other kind of sauce or vegetables or something. Then let's see. The other meat that so that's like this. Let me open that up. Show it. So like this one is just like sauce with, it's kind of a sweet savory sauce. It's called Beijing rosa, and that's probably the most common filling to put into the spring rolls that you have here. Usually you will have that with here. I've got some. I've used this word in videos before. Peitsai. So the accompanying vegetables. the standard pei tai with the Beijing rosa is cilantro and these kind of strips of like spring onion kind of thing. It's not usually like the regular onion you have. It's a different kind of. It's like the long shallot onion kind of thing, cut up into these little like julienne strips. So those are the two most common sort of accompaniments for the Beijing rosa. I then also got, this is just a sort of extra accompaniment package that has some more sauce in case you want to put more sauce on it, and some more cilantro. And this has some onion. This has some regular onion, some cucumber, and the other kind of like spring onion strips. I do not like red onion, so I will probably, let's find the, I'll put this over here. I'll probably take out these red onions here, and so they're not mixed in with all the other stuff I'm going to use. The other main sort of way, so with the Beijing rosa, with the Beijing pork, you just kind of put some strips of meat on your thing with some accompanying veggies, and you roll it up and you make a spring roll. The other common meat to use is more like sliced meat. This is sliced beef. So this is called jiang So niu is beef, niu is cow, and ro is meat, and then jiang means sauce. This is like a type of marinated. It's marinated in like a soy sauce and other stuff marinade. I think it has like some Chinese 5-spice and a bunch of other stuff. But they just call it jiang. That just means the sauce, like a sauce, jiang niu. And it's I don't actually know what cut of beef it's from, but it usually has a lot of like cartilage and fat running through it. You can kind of see the shiny bits or the cartilage or fat, but it's been slow cooked for a long time to the point where it kind of falls apart. And then, actually, it's a cold dish. It's not a hot dish. So it's marinated in this kind of broth for a really long time, and it's let to cool, and then it's sliced cold. So it's a cold sliced beef. This is not the most common sliced meat to have with these style of pancakes. More commonly, you'll have what's called shunro, which is shun means smoked, and ro is so that's like smoked pork. So the other common kind of sliced meat to have is like a smoked pork slices. But I really like the sort of marinade flavor on these beef things. You can eat it plain too. This is often a sort of accompanying dish that you might get with a whole bunch of other meals too. But you can get it and then put it into the pancakes if you want. I will start with these are the actual chunbing. I think they are. But yeah. So these ones are less glutinous. They're a bit thicker. Let's see. They usually have two. Actually, this might be the jinbing. I'll have to look at the other ones. Oh no, these ones are the jinbing. So I'll pull out two of them so you can kind of see the difference. So this is the jinbing. Like it's almost translucent. You can like almost see through it. That's what's called jinbing. And then this is the chunbing. It's more just like, I mean, it's still fairly glutinous and thin, but it's more like a what we would think of as like a tortilla in the West. And it's just a personal preference which one you like to have. I quite like those really thin. They're both made. I believe they're both made from wheat. So that's one thing that's different from say Vietnamese or Thai spring rolls. Those use a rice paper roll. But so you just kind of go ahead and put a little bit of your meat on the pancakes. I might have got a little too much meat there. You don't want to put too much because otherwise it'll like kind of break through. These are pretty thin wrappers, so like if you put too much stuff when you try to wrap it, the wrap will tear. But I like a little bit of cucumber, a little cilantro, and a little bit of the beef. I'm not a huge fan of these onion strips. They can be all right, but sometimes the flavor's a little overwhelming for me. And then just get a little bit of the sauce, kind of dab that in there. And then you just wrap it up basically like you would like a burrito or any other kind of a wrap you might have. You do have to be fairly careful if you try to wrap it too tight because the skins can be quite thin and you can end up tearing them. But basically, you just kind of get a thing like this. You can kind of see got a little stuff inside. I find that the spring pancakes are a little too thick and have too much like floury flavor. That kind of overwhelm the other stuff inside of it. That's one of the reasons I like the jinbing, the gluten pancakes. They're thinner. They have a little less flavor. I also like the texture of them a little better. You can also just kind of do a little dip in your sauce if you want. Oh, you gotta be careful because I lost a bit of my meat in the sauce. So this is a dish, you can eat it at Spring Festival, but also people eat it all year round. It's a pretty popular dish just to have any time of year. Especially if you have a whole bunch of people. It's a really easy thing. Everybody makes their own thing. Like, you just throw all the stuff on the table. When I'm ordering for myself, I have to kind of pick and choose which meat thing I want and whatever. But if you're getting for a bunch of people, you make all of these different. You make all the like 3 or 4 different roasts. different meat strips and like a couple different kind of sliced meats and lots of different veggie options. It's quite common also to have egg, like fried egg, or not fried egg, scrambled eggs. So that would be another common thing to put in, scrambled eggs. And then there's also lots of various kind of julienne vegetables that you might get with it. Particularly potatoes. Potatoes are quite popular here. Kind of thin strips. They look similar to these strips of cucumber, just like done with potato. So there, and you can also with dry tofu strips. You could have strips of carrot. That's a little less common, but some people still do it. So it's very much just a mix and match kind of thing. But typically this is a meal. I'm eating it as just a takeout meal, like at my desk by myself. But this is much more of like a family style meal. You don't usually eat this by yourself. Normally you would be with a group of people. You might be at home. You can make all these pretty easy. All these things are pretty easy to make. Or a lot of people will order, like I've done, you'll order it, deliver it to your house, and then sit around with your family and eat it all at your home. So here, I'll show one of these really thin ones again. These are the ones I like. They're called jinbing. And they're quite a bit thinner. And they're a bit thinner, a bit stretchier. You do have to be quite a bit more careful that you don't tear them, because they will tear quite easily. But I think they have a better texture. I'm gonna really load this up. I'm gonna put a bit of both kinds of meat in. So I'm gonna put some of these beef slices as well. We're gonna see. I might end up tearing this. I may have put too much stuff in, but we're gonna try. We'll see how it goes. Then a little bit of sauce. And dab here, dab there. And then you roll them up like the same way you would in America with a burrito. You just kind of fold the sides in and then roll the one side over, and then kind of push it back to kind of firm everything up. And there you go. This one's a little weird shape because those slices of beef are kind of fat. So kind of holding it horizontal this way. But yeah, I much prefer these thin wraps. Well, some people like the other ones. They have both of them. You just get the one you like. These thin ones are harder to deal with. As you can see, it's like starting to crack on the side and whatnot. Just because they're thinner, they're more fragile. But I think they taste and feel better when you make the wraps. So I guess I'll go through and name all the stuff. These are called, like I said, chunbing. spring pancakes. These are called jinbing. What's the onion called? I forgot the official name of this kind of onion. It's onion is song. A normal, like a round onion, like a white or a red onion, is yang song. This has another name, something song. I don't remember the exact name of it. Then cilantro is xiang cai. Xiang just means fragrant. So, and cai is vegetable. So cilantro is just fragrant vegetable. And then the beef strips, which is Beijing rosa. So the sauce is Beijing sauce. And then you have cucumber strips, huanggua se. So again, se just means strips. Huanggua is cucumber. You got just the Beijing jiang. This is just the same sauce, I think. It might be a slightly different sauce. But it's just another, it's a sauce you can put on it. And then jiang nuro, marinated beef strips. And I think that's good enough for today. Happy New Year, everyone.